Yeah, here tonight we are talking about worry destabilize the mind. Worry dis- destabilize the mind, which means worry makes the mind to be disabled. It destabilize the mind. It makes the mind to have no ground or no strength or no place to stand. If you have legs but you don't have a ground to stand on, it doesn't matter that you have legs. The problem is, where are you gonna stand if there's no ground for you to stand? So worry, it's like you having legs but don't have a ground to stand. That's worry. You have the mind, which it's the core of who you are, but you are failing to use the mind because you have no ground to stand on. So someone who is worried, he's like someone who has feet, but he has no ground to stand. So it doesn't matter that you have feet, both feet. But if there is no ground for you to stand on, your feet cannot help you. You need a ground for your feet to stand on. If there's no ground, even if you have feet, your feet cannot able to stand. That's worry. Worry makes you not to be able to stand, though you have feet to stand. Worry makes you not to be able to think while you have the mind to think. And somebody may not understand why are you falling for simple things? Why are you weak? It is because you have the mind, yes, but the mind is not stable and the mind is not strong. It does not have ground to stand on. I don't know, let's deal with this thing very quickly here. And just for a minute here, I want to deliver a few babies here tonight by the help of God. I'm trusting the Lord that we're going to deliver some babies here tonight. Yeah, I'm full of wisdom. I'm pregnant of knowledge. So I'm just about to deliver babies for you tonight. So here, it's a challenge. I have legs, but I have no ground to stand on. So though I have legs, though I have feet, but my feet needs ground for me to stand. So without a ground for me to stand, my feet are not useful. So worry is like a man with feet but no ground to stand. That's worry. That's what we're going to talk about here tonight. So worry makes the mind not to be stable. It destabilizes the mind. It disturbs the mind from functioning. Worry disturbs the mind from functioning. So the mind is not functioning, not because the mind cannot function, but there's something present in the mind. There is something in the mind which destabilizes the mind. You know, when you have a gun and you have been disarmed, once they disarm you, you have an arm, but once they disarm you, you are weak to fight. because you have no weapon. So listen to me very carefully here tonight, because I'm about to deliver babies here. And if you can listen to me very careful, because this is not all about going to church, and this is not all about being rich, this is not all about being educated. This is a reality of life, because when you meet a challenge, the challenge don't give a damn if you have a HOB or HRB, or you have a doctorate, or you have a degree, or you have a diploma. Worry, don't care, don't give a damn who you are. You will get worried while you have money, because it's not only money that makes people worry. There's a whole lot of things that can make a person to worry. Shilpi, thank you very much for coming in. And we have Madne Chubuyo there. Thank you very much. And we have Samuel Nasom. Thank you very much. VR. Thank you. In YouTube. Thank you very much. We are live in YouTube. We are live in TikTok. Mrs. Nesimbaula there. Thank you very much for coming in TikTok. Love you, my dear. Sweet to have you. Beautiful. So what does worry do? Worry moves the mind from its position. So if the mind is not in the position where the mind has power, the mind fears, the mind doubts, the mind is weakened. So why does God say to us, don't worry? It is because God knows that when we worry, we are being disarmed. So the enemy wants us to worry because he knows once you worry, you are disabled. You are disarmed. Your capability, your power is being taken away from you. And someone would say, but why does life, bring challenges? I mean, how do you think I'm going to cope without being worried? I mean, I don't organize to be worried. I don't plan to be worried. You don't have to plan to be worried. When we are challenged, worry can come at any time. Anything can cause worry in your life. As long as there is no stability of the mind, worry will be there. But what I'm saying to you today is that you must understand the condition. You must understand what happened when you worry. You must understand the cost, how much it cost you when you worry. You must understand that when you worry, how is your condition. Once you understand that, then you will deal with worry when you get worried. Because you understand that, I have legs, but I have no ground to stand on. I have a mind, but I have no position to stand on and defend myself. So if I'm worried, I'm weakening myself. So the enemy is easy to defeat me just because I am weak to defend or fight for myself. Thank you very much. We have Elenaro Taru. Say hello. Thank you very much in YouTube. It's 24 minutes to 8 o'clock in the evening. We are busy with this message that say, worry destabilize the mind. It makes the mind unstable. Yeah, that's worry. It disarms the mind. It makes the mind to be vulnerable. It makes the mind to be weak. So the enemy wants you to worry because he knows that when you are worried, you are weak. He can deal with you. The devil wants you to worry because when you worry, your power is gone. Your strength is gone. your ability is gone. That's why he will bring anything to you to get you worried. He knows, the devil knows very well that if you get worried, you have divided your strength. You have divided your mind. You have no ground to stand on. You have no ability. So you're too weak to fight. Have you seen a worried person, how they look like? Have you taken a selfie when you're worried? Have you been, they take you a picture when you're worried and see how your expression is when you're worried? When you're worried, your mind goes away. When you're worried, you can't see. Your mind takes you somewhere else. You live in your own world when you're worried. So there's no way you can deal with anything. A worried person cannot deal with simple things. When you're worried, everything becomes irritable. You can fight and get so upset for simple things. Why? You're worried. You're worried. And most of the time, we are worried of nothing. And some people, it's a habit to be worried. It's a habit to be worried. A little thing, they start panicking. A little thing, they start, seeing the worst of a situation. It's a habit. You worry even if there's no danger. You worry even things are simple. And because you are so much into worry that anything, I go to an interview, I'm worried. Go to clinic, I'm worried. I go to school, I'm worried. I go to work, I'm worried. I'm driving, I'm worried. I'm at home, I'm worried. I'm sleeping, I'm worried. I'm awake, I'm worried. It's a habit. It's now in me, making you weak, making you sick, making you like you are not normal. Because you cannot be normal. You cannot be worried and be normal. A worried person, a person who worries, is not normal. You don't get strength from worry. You don't get intelligence from worry. You don't get wisdom from worry. You get foolishness from worry. You do stupid things when you're worried. Come on. I love this. I want to dish to you a medicine of your soul so that you deal with life accordingly. So that you don't just worry for anything and stress for anything. It doesn't have to be something that you understand. It doesn't have to be something that you have guaranteed on. Learn to trust in the Lord. Learn to understand that God will never leave you nor forsake you. He's in charge. He's still on the throne. He never leaves. Thank you, Ravida. Ravinda. Yeah, Ravinda in YouTube. Say you dump. Thank you very much for that comment. Love you for that comment. And I bless you. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're making my night. You're making my night. I love people like you. When you have things that challenges you, test your mind. Test your faith. Test your intelligence. Test who you are. You will never know how strong you are until you meet a challenge. Easy to talk. Easy to can say whatever you want to say. But when you have to face the reality, you realize it's not as easy as you think it is. People talk about God the way they want to talk about God, but the day they meet God, the day you will face reality, then you realize you just had a big mouth with no brain. So you will see one day when you come across with reality. So when people don't understand what they're doing, don't harass them, don't hate them, don't push them to the edge. Life is so good. that people say things and have ideology that don't exist. But life will teach you. Life wins at the end. We may speak louder, dance, and do whatsoever we want to do, but life wins at the end. Truth will always win at the end. That's why I honor and respect truth. I don't care who says what and who does what, but truth stands at the end, becomes the winner. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Ravida say you are on the wrong way. Thank you, Ravida. I'm on the perfect way of God. Thank you very much. Ravida said, tell the name of God. And what's the meaning of the word God? I always say that people who would question the things of God with the attitude of trying to prove their knowledge, or try to prove that somebody is not wiser, they are wiser than somebody. And I'm not in competition with nobody, because what I know, I was not told by somebody. What I know, God taught me. And I don't preach things that I heard someone preaching it. I'm preaching something that God tells me to preach. So I'm not bothered by those who don't understand and those who may think I am talking nonsense or I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So tonight, I'm saying that worry will always make your mind unstable. And once you are unstable, there's no war you will fight and win. So the enemy disturbs your mind by worry, knowing that you are disarmed. You are no longer in a position to defend yourself. And once you are in a position where you cannot defend yourself, you are vulnerable. That's how the enemy takes advantage over us as human. It's always like that. Do not let anything destabilize your mind. Do not let anything make you worry to such an extent that you lose your position or you lose your soberness. You must be sober for you to defend yourself. You must be sober for you to deal with negative, for you to deal with evil, for you to deal with wrong. You can't deal with wrong when you are not calm, when you are not stable. I said last night, you can't call order when you're not in order. The only people that has power to call order are the people that have order. If you call order, you must have order yourself. It's those who have order that are able to call order. They can call things into order because they have order. You can't give what you don't have. We are able to give what we have, but you can't give what you don't have. Thank you very much. Yonga Nani, Mintani, guess who back? Oh, it's been a long time. Thank you very much. I love you very much, and I thank you for coming back. That's life. We go and come back. You know, sometimes it's good to go, It's good to go and experience certain things and see how other things are, and for you to really appreciate reality. God allows us to go through some trials and temptation, not because God don't love us. God wants us to experience things so that we can appreciate godliness. We can appreciate holiness. We can appreciate goodness. We can appreciate patience. We can appreciate good people. You know, sometimes we take for granted it's because we have not met other things. We have not been through other situations. When you go through other things, then you understand, you know what I have, it's powerful. Yonganani in tennis say, just like Jesus is going to come back. Thank you very much. Like Jesus is going to come back. Yeah, love you. Love you so much for that comment. It's around 2 minutes to 8 o'clock in the evening. What a beautiful evening has turned to be. Please don't worry. I'm not saying that, you don't have challenges. What I'm saying is that when you worry, you are going to be stabilized or disarmed. And you don't want to face life without being armed. Paul says, put on the armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So the devil knows that if you are armed, he cannot really fight you. So he disarm you by doing what? By worry. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. When you are armed, the enemy fears you. So for you to be disarmed, he makes you worry. Anything that makes you worry, what divides your attention, weakens your strength, disarm your weapon, and you now weaponless. And how do you fight without a weapon? So I want to say to you tonight, when negative things come your way, when negative people come your way, please be calm. Do not let them go under your skin. Do not let them disarm you. Do not let them weaken you. Life is like that. There are hills, there are down hills, up hills. But down and up hills should not let us give up from a journey. You don't give up because, no, this journey's got up hills. That's part of the journey. We are going to meet negative people in our lives. We're going to meet evil people in our lives. We're going to meet people who will betray us in our lives. But we should not give up just because I've met somebody who betrayed me. This is life. We don't give up just because we had hard times. Don't let anything disarm you. Keep fighting, keep standing. Things are going to happen. But please, don't let worry become your comfort zone. Stay somewhere, get worried, and feed yourself with worry. And you say, this is what I am. I'm not going to go anywhere. Stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Don't feed yourself with worry. Worry, it's not a strength. It's a weakness. And it should not be part of our lives. We should be brave enough to stand. Though we are surrounded by negativity. Paul says to Timothy, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power and of sound mind. Once you show weakness to your enemy, once you show worry to your enemy, the enemy is empowered by our weakness. When we show weakness and we show that, I am feeling it, the enemy pressed on your weakness because there's a chance there. The enemy sees there is a chance for me to succeed. The Bible teaches us that when you fall 7 times, rise. The Bible does not teach us when you fall, it's over. No. When you fall, you rise. So, yeah, people must learn that you make a mistake, but don't stay there. Don't stay in mistakes. Rise. Don't stay there. Yes, we are not perfect. We make mistakes. But I don't stay. It's not my place. It's not my place. I correct them. I rise and I keep walking. So if there's anything that makes the mind unbalanced, it's worry. Worry takes the balance of the mind. The mind goes out of balance because of worry. Remember, once worry comes in your mind, it comes to divide. And the mind is strong when it's united. So if the mind is divided, there is no balance. How do you defend when you are out of balance? How do you defend when you're out of balance? You can't defend. Because being out of balance, it's a battle, it's on its own. Out of balance, it's a battle on its own. And if you're in a war within yourself, how do you then challenge the enemy? How do you then fight the enemy? You are unable to fight the enemy because you are not balanced. You are not stable. So, even if you think you have the right to worry, bear in mind that worry weakens your ability to think. And you need to think. You need to think soberly. You need to think normal. You need to think balanced. If not, you will be in trouble with the enemy. Evil is weak when we are balanced. We're not scared of evil. But when we are out of balance, evil will toss you around. Evil will even control what you're thinking. That's when the mind is not in balance. When your mind is not in balance, evil even controls what you think. You realize that you're no longer in control. Things just flow in your mind. You're trying to avoid them. They just flow into your mind. It's like gateways are open. Because there is no stability, there's no unity of the mind. Anything that comes into the mind rules the mind. Anything that comes to the mind has the power over the mind. Anything that comes into the mind controls the mind. That's when the mind is out of balance. When the mind is out of balance, any thought controls the mind. And you don't want any thought to control your mind because you have been given the power to control yourself. God gave you power to live a free life. God gave you power for you to enjoy life, not to become a slave, but to enjoy life. The moment you can't think freely, the moment you can't have choice, the moment you can't express the true feeling of your heart, and you live like you have no choice, you must know the mind is divided. the mind has been weakened. The mind has been destabilized. There's no stability. There's no strength. There's no ground to stand on. And now, you're tossed to and fro. And the moment that happens, you become a slave. You suffer. Everything becomes a challenge. Listen, God knows what you want without explaining to him. And God knows how much you need it without explaining to God. God already knows that you need this. And God is moved and touched by our needs. There's nothing as touching God like the needs of man. The Bible says, I will supply all your needs according to my riches in glory, according to his riches in glory. There's nothing that moves God like our needs. There's no way else God cannot intervene. When you are in need, there's no way God cannot intervene. I can put my life on. There's no way God cannot intervene. He created us with responsibility. There's nobody who's responsible like God. We can be responsible, but you can't be responsible like God. God takes responsibility. So there's no way you can need something and God cannot deliver to you. He says, I don't make promise and not deliver. That's God. Our problem, we worry, we panic, we doubt. We are in a hurry of things. We want our own way. Our Heavenly Father will supply all our needs according to his riches in glory. All our needs, not some of our needs. All of our needs. Don't panic. Don't worry. God is a supplier. Abraham, he calls him the Lord that provides. We see daily their beds. They don't have storehouses. God supplied their needs. If God can feed the birds, God cannot fail to feed us. If God can take care of the birds, God cannot fail to take care of us. We need to seek the Lord with all our heart, with all our strength, with all our might. God will never leave nor forsake us. It's time to worship God in spirit and in truth. It's time to serve God with all our heart and all our soul. God cannot fail you. Everything can fail you, but not God. God will never fail you. He's a living God, almighty, everlasting, Prince of Peace, the I am who I am. He's the potter, we are the clay. No mountain is too high for him. Nothing is too difficult for God. So you don't have to doubt the one who made you and created you, the one who formed you in your mother's womb. He will never back off. He will never turn his back on you. He's the one who will come when you are in need. He's the one who will save you when you're surrounded by enemies. He's the one who will hear your prayers when you pray. The one who created you. He says to Jeremiah, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. Before you were formed in your mother's womb. You know, if he knows you before you were formed, he knows you better than anything. He knows you better than you know yourself. When the Bible says trust in the Lord It means the one who knows you best, trust in him. The one who created you, trust in him. The one who shaped you, trust in him. He will never fail you. We make mistake, but he doesn't. When you want perfection is in God, the creator. There are things when we look at them, we don't understand them. In our eyes, they may look simple. In our eyes, they may look wrong. But God, being the knower, he knows why. And his knowledge is perfect. God's knowledge is perfect. You see at the end that God's knowledge is perfect. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. Be patient. You will see that now I understand when God says no. I got offended because I did not understand. But patience taught me God never make a mistake. David says, I was young and now I am old. I've never seen the righteous been forsaken. I've never seen the righteous been forsaken. He will never forsake you. But sometimes it feels like God is nowhere to be found. But God, he is with you. And those moments, you may ask yourself, God, where are you? But it's not anywhere he's with you. Only when you have overcome on the other side, then you realize that God was with me. If he was not with me, I would not have survived. Now I tell you, there were times and situations where you thought God was not there. But now you look back and say, if God was not there, you think the enemy would have left you alive. No. The enemy would have finished you there. Because the enemy had an opportunity to destroy you utterly. And to show that God never left you, you survived the worst situation that you never thought you would survive. So when the Bible says, I will never leave you nor forsake you, I will be with you until to the end of the world, it's true. Very true. God will never turn his back on you. When everything turn away from you, he will never turn away from you. Don't worry. God is with you even if you don't feel him or see him. He will never leave you. Worry destabilize your mind. Worry weakens your mind. Worry disarm your mind. Worry rob you from yourself. Worry divides your strength and make you vulnerable. Thank you very much, Surey. On YouTube, do you remember what is the day today in Hindi? Okay, let's see today. Today is Thursday. Thursday. Let me see Thursday. I think, what is Thursday in Hindi? Thursday. Gurua. It's Thursday. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gurua. Thursday. It's Gurua. Yeah. Thank you very much. In Hindi, they say Gurua. So, if you would allow worry in your life, you will call yourself weak because you will see situation taking over you. But I want to say to you tonight, not because you're weak. Worry is the divider of the mind. It disarms your ability to think. Now you are unable to think soberly so that you can defend yourself. You are so worried that the mind is weak. But I want to tell you, stop worrying. Even if you think I've got a reason to worry, stop worrying. Stop worrying. It's not easy, but stop it. It's difficult not to worry, but stop it. Understand the danger of worrying. It disarms the mind. It makes the mind to be unstable. And when you're unstable, out of balance, how can you defend yourself? That's worry. When the Bible says, don't worry, it says, don't choose a position that you can't defend yourself when you're standing on. Because worry is a position that it disarms you. And you want to be in a position where you can able to fight, defend yourself. Evil will pull you to and fro because you are unstable. And you know, once you worry, you will doubt. When you doubt, you have no stand. So we must know what happened when I'm worried. What's going on in my mind when I'm worried? What's going on in the spiritual realm when I'm worried? What's happening with me when I'm worried? How does the enemy look and see? What does he see when I'm worried? Fear and worry are the biggest destroyer of our confidence. We are unable to do what we want to do because I'm afraid. I'm unable to do what I want to do because I'm worried. It disarms us. How can you express your ability when the mind is divided? Arise, stand, and don't be ashamed of failing. Try again. You failed today, it's not the end of the road. Try again. You meet difficulties, please don't give up, don't give in. Try again. The Bible talks about men who refuse to be defeated. They refuse to let the enemy have the upper hand. Kept on fighting when things were not promising. Kept on moving when the journey was difficult. It's not always where things will allow you to move freely. There's some times when movement will not be easy, but keep moving. There are times when you will feel that life is forcing you not to move forward. But because you know the importance of moving forward, I can't stay still. Because if I stay stagnant, I will die. What has killed many people is stagnation. Die in the mind, where the strength, the power comes from. The power of man is in the mind of man. Our mind is our strength. So if our minds are weakened, how can you defend and fight? This mind helps us to rise when we fall. This mind helps us to defend ourselves when we're surrounded by enemies. So worry destabilize the mind. Worry poisons the mind. Worry defiles the mind, makes the mind dirty and weak. So you are unable to stand because you are worried. Worry is not a strength, it's a weakness. Choose not to worry, even if you are in a situation. Choose not to worry, even if things are bad. Choose not to worry. And I'm telling you, once you walk in that path of boldness and that path of soberness and stableness, I'm telling you, life becomes beautiful. You will have that attitude of, praising God. So Ray says, God sees everything. He knows our truth. No matter what anyone says, it doesn't matter to us. There are many people here who just make fun of us. We forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. There's nobody that can make fun of God and fun of the things of God if they know God. People that make fun of God and the things of God and the servants of God is because they don't know God, so we forgive them. That's why Stephen said to God when they were stoning him to death, he says, forgive them, Lord. They don't know what they're doing. And it's true. If they knew what they were doing, they would not do it. If people know how bad it is to lie, they will not lie. If people can know what happens when you lie, they will not lie. The problem is they don't know the deepest pain, the deeper part of lies. So they just think it's nothing. They don't know how it affects their life. So they think it's nothing, then they lie. But if you can understand the deeper part of lies, that's why things that are addictive, they become addictive because they know their wrongs. So they want to possess and keep hostage because they know once you are aware, you will reject. Anything that becomes addictive, it fears rejection. So it wants to possess because it knows that it's not true. God of mercy. So you can see what lies does. Becomes addictive. Why? Because lies fears the truth. So it wants to addict you so that you don't have the choice or you don't have the power to reject lies. Thank you very much, Surese. I had read a book in which I had heard that God is very kind and protects us. Great. There's nobody as kind as the Creator. Allow you to exist. Gave you a choice when He's the Creator. Gave you power. Make you free. You know, there's nothing as powerful as choice. The fact that we are alive and we have choice. That's the very highest gift that you can ever receive. Just choice. Just to be able to choose. When you are not the Creator, when you have not created yourself, when you are just a creation of God, but gave you choice. That's the highest gift you can think about. To have a choice. It allows you to choose. You choose to be against Him, you choose to be for Him, you choose to do whatever you want. That's freedom. That's how loving God is. That's how kind God is. Gave us freedom to choose. The highest gift. And if you don't understand that, you can't appreciate it. If you don't understand it, you can't praise God. Because you don't understand that you've been given the freedom. You look at it and think, so what? Because you don't understand the depth of it. The depth of freedom. The fact that you are free. We entangle ourselves with the issues of life. But God gives you freedom. Gives you choice. Whether you are in trouble or not in trouble, but you have a choice. And the power is that when you have a choice, and understand your choice, you understand your power. If you don't understand your choice, you don't understand your power. Choice is power. I choose to listen and I choose not to listen. Oh, God have mercy. So if you live a life like you have no choice, you have lost your power. You have lost your power because power is in the choice. Now, worry makes you feel like you have no choice because it takes away the soberness of the mind. And when you're not sober, you feel like I have no choice. And not because you don't have a choice, you have the choice. The problem is that you're worried. And when you're worried, your mind is unstable. Your mind is not sober. And you don't think straight. And when you don't think straight, you can't see right. You can't see right. That's why it is important to understand your position. To understand why should I live the way God wants me to live. He's the only one who created me to be free. And all his gifts are gifts for benefit. God does not give you something that will destroy you and benefit him. God gives us things that benefit us. God loves a cheerful giver, a person who serves God heartedly. I want to serve God. I'm not forced to serve God. I'm not threatened to serve God. I serve him because I understand. I have an understanding. I give because I have an understanding. I worship God because I have a deeper understanding. Surrey, do you know that in English we say God, God, but in Hindi we say Bhagwan. Okay, Bhagwan. All right. In Hindi, they say Bhagwan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Surey. Bhagwan. So, I want you to realize that choice you've been given. So when you feel like you have no choice, it is not God. The enemy wants you to think you have no choice so that you can side with wrong. When people side with wrong, it's like, I don't have a choice. It's because they don't see that they have a choice. Now they think they don't have a choice, so they do wrong and say, I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. And sometimes to choose right is hard. Sometimes to choose right, it's not easy. So when we arrive in that point where things are not easy and we have to choose right, let's not say, I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. But you may be scared that choosing right, I have to be the sacrifice. And there sometimes, yeah, you're choosing right, you gotta sacrifice. And people don't wanna sacrifice, you know. And then they say, I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. You know that choosing right, it demands sacrifice. And you don't wanna sacrifice. And then you console yourself and say, I don't have a choice. Thank you, VR. Say good night, Ray. Surey, God bless you. Thank you very much, VR. Have a great night and sweet dream. Sweet dream, VR. In YouTube, may the Lord bless you. It's around 29 minutes to 9 o'clock in the evening. We're talking about what it destabilizes the mind. It makes the mind weak. So when you are worried, think twice. Know that that's not your strength. You have to be careful how you deal with situation, because it's those kind of situation that makes us worry, lose ourselves. And when you lose yourself, you are vulnerable, you become a victim. And the enemy likes it when you are confused, when you don't know what to do. And then he uses our ignorance to do what? To pull us down. And then you find sometimes we're very discouraged just because things are not going our way. And we think, I don't have a choice. And you don't see that you have a choice all the time. Just because you know now you have to sacrifice for you to choose right. You are afraid that if I choose right, I have to sacrifice. So you said, I don't have a choice. I just have to do this thing. I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. You're just scared to pay the price. And you see the price and think, but right is always perfect. No matter how much price you pay, right is always perfect. Right is the right way to take. Though it may cost us, but it is a perfect way to choose. In YouTube, Surrey say these people don't know if God exists. But if someone asks me, I will tell them who God is. I know that it's because of His grace that we are all able to breathe. We are. If it wasn't God, we wouldn't be breathing today. We wouldn't even be here today. But the fact that you are breathing and we are here today, it is because God has created us. And that's not a joke. That's not a joke, brother. That's not a joke, sister. That's the reality. God made you. And God is at the end of any journey. At the end of any journey. At the beginning of any journey. Your first step on earth, God was there. Your last step on earth, God will be there. So He's all the way. And you cannot hide. David says, I cannot hide from the Lord. He sees the depth. He sees and knows the ins and the outs of our whereabouts. Everything to God is clear. Nothing is hidden. God knows the deepest secret of our being. God knows when we're pretending and when we're honest. We can't tell God, God, I'm honest. You already know if you're honest or not. You don't have to tell God, God, I'm honest. I'm really honest, God. He knows it. He knows it before you can even say it. He knows that you're honest or you're not honest. That's the kind of God we serve. He's the knower of the hearts. He knows you before you can even open your mouth and say something. He knows you before you can even make an action. You already read what you want to do. That's the kind of God we serve. Please, brothers and sisters, stop worrying. When you go to bed and go and sleep. Don't go to bed worried and not have a good sleep just because you're worried of something. Let God have His way. Let go of worry. If there's anything that you should let go without doubt, is worry. If there's anything that you have to let go without doubt, it's worry. Let go of worry. Throw away this worry. And I'm telling you, if you do that, you will be the happiest being on earth. The thing that steals our joy is worry. The thing that makes life to be difficult is worry. If you can deal with worry, you can deal with anything. Don't worry. Life is free. God gave you free life. Please. It's my prayer for you. Stay positive. Have faith. And never allow anyone, anything, get under your skin. Yeah. Enjoy your life. Enjoy being yourself. Enjoy to live, to be self, to follow the truth. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. It's around 23 minutes to 9 o'clock in the evening. It's a beautiful evening. It's on Thursday. It is a beautiful day. I'm happy to be here today and to share my knowledge with you today. And thank you very much, Surey. Thank you, Shilpi. Thank you very much for joining and be with me here tonight. I believe and trust God for greater moment, for greater times. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. Yeah, may the Lord be with you. It's a beautiful evening. I say to you, happy Gurua. Yeah, happy Gurua. May have a blessed Gurua, Hindi people in India there. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. May the Lord be God in your life. Surey say 10 minutes or wait for me to leave, please. Surey. Yeah, thank you very much, Surey. I know you and Shilpi, biggest fan, biggest supporters. And may the Lord bless you with your beautiful heart. I really would love to stay longer with you. Just have to also engage in some activities. But thank you very much for the support that you give in Surey and Shilpi, my India's brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful opportunity to interact with you and also, learn from you. As I teach, you learn. You never just teach and not learn. Learning is a lifetime. We don't arrive in learning. When you think you know, you become stagnant. Knowledge is a revolving thing. You learn every single day. You always have a room to learn. You always have to, leave a room to learn. And when you learn, you mature, you grow. And it's easy for you to deal with things when you are learning faster. And when you are learning, you're maturing, you're growing. You can feel your confidence. You can feel that, you know what, I'm going somewhere. And that's what we're looking for. And thank you very much, Surey there. Shilpi, thank you. Love you people. I love you so much. You are a blessing in my heart. And you know what? I pray to God that one day I will, come to India and join you and, have a great time. But the God that I serve, I know He will make a way. He will make a way. So thank you very much. He's a great God. Thank you. I love you. And I hope to be here again tomorrow by the grace of God. Tomorrow I believe that maybe I will be in the morning. We have an all-night prayer tomorrow night. So yeah, it will be a blessing to really have my brothers and sisters with me. Yeah, that will be a real blessing. I will, Surey. I definitely will. So tomorrow, it's a beautiful day. I will come. Love you so much. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. You have my sweet dreams. Thank you. Love you so much. God bless. Amen.